So, as you can probably tell, my house is still completely covered in orange. This past weekend, I celebrated that this past week, I officially became a Dutchie, a real European citizen. And I know for some people, that might just sound like paperwork or another step in life. But for me, this is a huge milestone, maybe one of the biggest ones I've ever had. Because for most of my life, I never felt like I finished things. I'd start really strong, have a vision, and then somewhere in the middle, the chaos of my mind, I'd just lose myself. There was always this undercurrent of inner destruction, this turmoil that I could never name, this feeling that I was always a few steps behind my own potential. And now, sitting here, surrounded by orange streamer and fake mustaches, I feel something I've never really felt before. Peace. I'm not saying everything's perfect, because it's not. But my needs are finally being met on all levels. I have community. I have friends who see me and love me. I have work that excites me. I've built something from the ground up, and I have a home that really feels like me. What's wild is how recent the darkness still feels. 6 months ago, I was at rock bottom of my life. I couldn't sleep through the night. I was grieving, completely heartbroken, trying to survive losing the love of my life. And I was unraveling. Everything that I thought I understood about myself was breaking apart. But now I understand that breakdown was also such a breakthrough. It was me unmasking, finally seeing the neurodivergence that shaped every corner of my life. The patterns, the overwhelm, the sensory chaos, the way I'd feel too much and then just shut down completely. For so long, I blamed myself for being too much, for not being consistent, for not being able to just be normal. But I wasn't broken. I was just misunderstood, even by myself. And once I started to understand my specific brain, everything just started to click. Like, oh, this is why I stim. This is why I crave structure. This is why social situations drain me, even when I love the people there. I stopped fighting myself. I started building a life that actually fits me. And now I wake up and I recognize the person looking back at me. That's new. I didn't know that I'd ever get here. And that's what makes this whole becoming Dutch thing so symbolic. It's not just a passport. It's proof that I can finish things, that I can see something through, even when it takes many years. Because I used to be so afraid that my chaos would always win, that I'd always be the guy who almost made it, who almost healed, who almost got there. But now I'm here, orange mustaches and all. But underneath the humor and the decoration, there's this deep, deep gratitude. I didn't give up. I kept going through nights that felt endless, through grief that felt unbearable, through rebuilding my business, my sense of self, my friendships, everything. And the craziest part, I didn't just survive. I evolved. I built community with people who actually see me. I learned to communicate my needs. I stopped apologizing for my intensity, and I started seeing my neurodivergence not as a limitation, but as my superpower. It's why I can see connections in business that others miss. It's why I feel things deeply, deeply enough to create meaning out of them. It's why I can reinvent myself again and again. So yeah, this moment, becoming Dutch, is very personal. It's symbolic. It's me saying I belong, not just here in Europe, but here on this planet, in my own skin. 6 months ago, I didn't recognize myself. Now I look around this room and I think I built this life piece by piece, and it's only the beginning. So cheers to that, and to whatever comes next. May it be bright, bold, and maybe just a little bit orange.